I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're with my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last.
Hey, how y'all doing out there? I am your host, the real lovely C, and we discussing Ready to Love. Let me bring in my beautiful co-host, Prissy. Hey, Prissy, what's going on, sweetie?
How you doing?
I'm
Everything is
doing
fine?
good. Everything fine. Everything's fine. Shoulder bother me a little bit, but I'm here. I'm here.
You are a
Okay.
strong survivor, young lady.
Oh, girl, tell me. Okay, so we're talking about, girl, was it good or was it not? I mean, they picked the right name for it, barbecue.
And they were barbecuing.
You know, and it started out with the name barbecuing because Cherie ass had to come off and talk about barbecue zone. You understand what I'm saying? If she
Mm-hmm.
put herself in that position, she put herself in that position because the man overheard her. You know what I'm saying? Saying that, and that's why he called her behind fate. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So, girl, let's get right into this thing, this hot, juicy episode. I mean, because the only thing you was missing was the damn popcorn. So let's get the people what they came to hear, girl. Zoe and Justin was called to the front for elimination at the all white party, but it was they also called um I forgot his name already.
LJ.
No,
LJ.
yeah, they called L Joy. It was Zoe, LJ, and Justice. That's right.
Right.
Okay, they called them to the front at the white party for elimination. But guess what, Priscilla? They got a second chance.
I know.
He got a second chance. But
Yes, he
see, you know what
did.
I'm waiting on? I'm waiting on. You know how it get to the middle of the season and he bring in two more people
Uh-huh.
to stir it up. You remember they do it every season, and I wonder when maybe when they get down to 7 or 6
Uh-huh.
people, he gonna bring in two more, one more female and one more male to stir it up. He do that every year, you
Uh-huh.
know. So it wouldn't surprise me, if that happened. All right, so he sent he didn't they all got a second chance. Now somebody gotta let Justin know he's up for elimination because he left the damn party. So the next day, the three men that was up for elimination got a chance to talk with Tommy to see what the ladies are feeling about them, and they get a chance to work on what they are lacking of. Tommy let them know one of them, three of them would be leaving because they up for elimination. So this is their second chance. It's just it they get a second chance, but they don't get a second chance because all three of
Right.
them up for elimination. Normally, when he get a second chance, they just go back and then somebody else come up, but they are in the bottom three. And I was kind of hoping that it was Justin, but it was, I ain't even got all the way down to the
He
bottom. Here I
must
go.
he must had a good explanation for Tommy to say okay.
Right, right, right. So Katie invited some of the group to go cargoing. Zoe seemed to play a little hard and end up hurting one of the ladies. Zoe said he needed competition, you know, but Tarika got hurt. She hurt her wrist and said um she couldn't he said he couldn't she couldn't take a L. What kind of mess is that, Priscilla? She couldn't take a L. Because Cherie made the statement to barbecue him. Zoe heard her and said she wanted to stop him, and he didn't like that. What are your afterthoughts on that?
I think he was a little too competitive with the racing and thing. I really do because it's like he forgot there was ladies there. So he was really competitive. And then when they finished it, he was like, I had no competition. I had no competition, which to that effect, they must have been saying something else about him for Sharice to say, yeah, we can barbecue him. So, and when he overheard that, he went into another gear of anger, anger.
Exactly. Exactly. But the thing was for the barbecuing him was because he played too rough. He didn't apologize to Tranika. Tranika, I think that's
Uh-huh.
the pronunciation.
Well, then he must have took it the wrong way, maybe, because when she said
But
let's
Cherie
barbecue
said
him,
let's barbecue him.
yeah, he probably
She
figured
said
she
let's
talking
barbecue.
about,
The way she said let's barbecue his ass. That's what she said.
mhm,
She
yeah.
said it that way, and he overheard her. So then they paired off into groups. LJ and I think it was Trinika and um we'll get into it. We'll get into it. So Katia and Tranika wanted to have a conversation with Justice. Okay, so it was Katia and Tranika. They wanted to have a conversation with Justice, because she wanted some type of backup, some type of proof. She wanted Tranika to be a witness while she talked with Justin. Katia said she called Justice and he didn't call her back. He said if he didn't save her number, it was based on her conversation prior to that. Justice and Katia goes back and forth. She said he is difficult. She said she don't care. What are your afterthoughts?
And they just don't get along for some reason. I just feel like, what she was saying he didn't like. And he was trying to explain to her, or, to me, from my point of view, it looked like he was trying to explain to her what was going on and she didn't want to hear it. But then he tried to apologize and she was like, I don't want to hear that. Because he was like, can I get a hug? And she was like, no, no.
He
So
tried to
then
turn the negative, narrative
negative into a
around.
positive, yeah,
Right.
but it didn't work. Not for Katie, because he was like, "Well, can I get a hug?" She was like, "No." So, and then it was Sharika who went with
Um,
them again. Was
it was Tranika was with them.
Tranika went with them? So she tried to translate what was going on, but
Right.
to me, it looked like by that time he didn't want to hear it, and Kaylin didn't want to hear it. So I don't know what came out of that.
Right. Exactly. So Katie has said she's done with Justice and want to change the conversation because he's too difficult. Now, girl, here come the juicy part. Girl, here come the juicy part. Cause Sharice wants to know what Zoe plan is to step his game up. Cause she's been in that position, being in the bottom. She was in the bottom too, not once but twice. You know what I'm saying? So she knows how it feels to be up for elimination. Zoe said he is very competitive and he's going to be authentic and genuine because that's all that he know. Sharice wanted to know where did she stand with him and his process. But before we get into that, what are your afterthoughts with Sharice wanting to know what his plan is to step his game up?
First of all, it sounds like Sharice didn't know that Zoe heard what she said. And he didn't feel the need to explain, like, before they got in that big argument, it was like, I heard what you said, and I don't think that was cool. He didn't want to say that. Instead, he let his anger take over. So
Right.
she was trying to go as if nothing had happened, as nothing, she didn't say anything wrong, and he knew different. But instead of him facing, being like a man and said, Sharice, I heard what you said about barbecuing me, and that's not cool. Then say, you know, that we don't have a connection because I don't like things like that. But he just his anger took over and he
He
roasted
snapped.
her.
He snapped.
She the one that got barbecued. Yeah.
Exactly.
She the one that
Exactly.
got barbecued.
It turned on her. But
Yes.
okay, so let's move on because Sharice wanted to know where did she stand with him in this process. Zoe said he should be asking her that. Sharice thought that he would have reached out to her since the all white party. Zoe said he didn't think that she took him serious. He said we got all these things in common, but is there a connection? Is there a connection? They had a lot of things in common till she made that comment. So he
Yeah.
feel like yeah, you got something you want to say?
Well, that right there just changed it. If he did think that he could do something with Sharice, they might could have made a connection. She messed it up,
Mm-hmm.
and when she's
Mm-hmm.
because of what she said, so being that she messed that up, he just did a what you call 390, 360. He just said, "Oh no, this not gonna happen." No. I think
Right.
she messed that up herself. It might have been a nice connection if she hadn't came out like that. But then we saw the real Zoe when he get angry. So I don't know.
Right. So he feel like she is putting on, she's acting, she's putting on for him. She said she's trying to make a connection with him. She said she's not there to play games. She came here with her heart open and she's not going to chase after a man that don't seem to be interesting. Cause if not, she do have another connection. Okay, that right there, this brings me back to him. um this brings me back to him at the white party where he gave the woman, his girlfriend, the ring 11 years ago, and the next day taking it back. If
Yeah.
he got this type of attitude, I can see that.
Mhm.
I can see
Mhm.
that. This type of connection, I don't think he gave that ring back the next day. I think over time, you know, and his attitude, because he could come off very nasty. You see that, you can see that. So maybe the woman broke it off with him because the way he
Maybe.
act. He's difficult. You know,
Yeah.
he seemed to
He's
be
not ready. He's not ready. He's not
right,
ready. He got some issues. I don't think he's
right,
ready.
right. So where was I? Oh, okay. If not, she do have another connection. So Zoe said, um, he's glad that she has another connection, as she should. He mad saying this.
Yes.
She wanted to know who's his connection with. Zoe said he's not here to talk about who he's connected with. By this time, they are arguing back and forth.
Right.
So they just translating words back and forth
And
and
forth.
just arguing. And when I
Mhm.
say arguing,
They
everybody in
really
the cargo can hear them arguing because
right.
by this time, Katie leaves Justin to find out what the world is going on. LJ, everybody, stopped in their tracks. But in a sense, I think she overreacted. You yelling at me and this and that. She could have diffused the conversation by just walking the hell out. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying?
Right.
You
She
know,
waited. She argued until she was like, "Well, I don't have to stand for this. I'm leaving." When they first got to
she played
raising,
the sympathy card. She played the
yeah,
sympathy
but
card.
like you said, when they started raising the voice and she thought he was rude to her, she should have said, this is getting out of, you know, this is getting out of place. We can't talk like this. We just,
Exactly. It's
but
exactly.
they was getting down with it, honey. They was getting down with it, and
So after that, he said he took Zoe said he's there to find the connection, but he said she is so fake. And you know it. You fake and you know it. And what even she has for him, he said this face to face to him. He can see it that he said, I can see it in your eyes. So Cherie said, have you looked at yourself, Zoe? Said you are getting salty. And she made a case, and with that, he called her out on her BS. She said, you are a grown man yelling at a woman. Cherie said, you can talk to a dog in the street like that, but you don't have to talk to me like that. So, I mean, I agree. He talked to her. I mean, like he talked to her like she was almost like a grown man. And if that's how he battled his arguments out at home in a relationship, even if they did have a connection, when they get upset, it's going to be the same kind of way. It's going to be the same kind of way because his attitude is very nasty. He comes off to be very nasty. So we got a chance to see another side of Zoe. And by this time, even if I was rooting for him, I think he's not ready to love. It's time for him to go home because in a real relationship, as soon as it gets started, he will end up things where he will end up falling down because he was so damn nasty that it don't make any sense. He said she is fake as F. Man, that got loud. They got so
yeah.
loud. But what really got this argument started when Cherie said barbecue his ass, as they got out of the go-karts. Zoe stormed out and said he's in peace. So he left the place. So Sharika goes on to talk to Tommy to tell him that Katie and told what she's shared in the ladies' lounge, and it was brought up in front of Mike. Tommy said he's here with um he said it was bought. Okay, so it was bought up from night. Tommy said he's with her and talked with her, and he gave her the day off. We talking about Sharika, you know,
Hmm.
because at
Yeah.
the all white party, Katie and told what happened to her in the past. You understand what I'm saying? And she evidently she in her past, we really didn't get to hear about it, but she suffered abuse in her last relationship. You understand what I'm saying? So Tommy called her out and said he's going to give her the day off. She suffered with PTSD and she went through a lot with her ex-spouse. She feels like that a man will judge her because of the past. So she feel like in this process, because now narrative has been spread around the group that they won't give her a fair chance because they're gonna end up saying she's not ready to love. I think she's beautiful, and I do think she is ready to love. And I'm glad Tommy gave her the day off. You understand? So Samson decided to have his event in the park. He invited Mike, Looney, and Brandy because they are yeah because um None of them are up for elimination, and they can relax in the park and enjoy the picnic. But it's, to me, as Looney said, Brandy and Mike forgot that they was there. They were so into each other, feeding each other fruit and drinking their wine, that they forgot that Looney and Samson was there. So Looney and Samson played frisbee and dropped and they drank wine. I like their vibe, and I told you that I think that Looney and Samson, our dear friend Samson, who was in our DM, should pick Looney. I told you that, and I was rooting on that because I don't feel that him and Cherie is a good connection, and I feel that he really they are really feeling each other. So I like how she wiped the sweat off of his head. You know, they look like they've been together for years. What are your afterthoughts?
Yeah, they did. Can you hear me?
I can hear you good.
Yes. Yes, they I think they make a good couple. They were so, at ease with each other at the picnic, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And compatible. So hopefully that won't change. I think so. I think they make a nice couple. I like that.
So, what do you think about Sharika? Her situation with them telling her business.
I really don't think they should have told what she told them in the lounge. That was like doing girl talk that they thought would stay among them.
Right,
And with Katie and telling everybody that it's gonna get back to the men, and the men might feel some type of way about approaching her because they might feel like she got a lot of drama with her. A lot of
well,
uh
it's already to get back to several of them, but
yeah, but I mean, it wouldn't have if she hadn't have said anything. She should have let them she should have let the guys decide on their own whether they wanted to be with Sharika or not. But Kalian gave them a little bit to think about, and so who knows how that's going to come out. I don't think that was
right,
very cool of Kalian to do that. Yeah, Kalian said, yeah, well, you bring it out, let it all out. You want it to be known, let it be known, but let them find out on their own. You don't tell them, rumors like that. You, I just feel that it was wrong for her to do that, and
right.
it upset Sharika very much.
Mm-hmm.
So
It really did. So he ended up giving her the day off. So Mike and Brandy had a problem with her being gone for days at a time because she's a flight attendant. She assured him that she can do and come as she wants. She worked based on how she can, make her schedule the way she wants. She can pick her schedule. That was his concern with dating her because he want her there for he didn't want to make it seem like it was a distance
between them,
relationship with her being gone all the time. That was his biggest concern. But she assured him that she can pick her schedule. You understand? So to go up and back, she can go up and back and forth the same day. She can make her own schedule. So she can work it out. They were into each other, and Brandy liked when Mike makes her blush. Brandy gives Mike the tickle in his stomach. Okay, he said he make his she make her tickle. He makes her. Let me resend that. Katie will make his stomach tickle. It makes him feel like he's a kid again. They toast to love. They made a toast to love. So he feel it in his stomach. And when you get that feeling in your stomach, it means something. You feeling that person. You are feeling that person because when you in a start a new relationship, your stomach get all bloody. Butterflies in it.
butterflies,
Yeah, you
nervous.
get nervous and stuff like that because you want to stay on point because you really feeling that person. So
Right.
Tranika and LJ, we almost done. Tranika and LJ are here. Um, on their one-on-one date, and he's giving her more conversation on the phone. You know, she understand that he has a daughter and loves how he loves her daughter. She is a product of a blended family, and she loves children. So the ladies meet up at the ladies lounge. Tommy let them all know what goes on in this lounge stays in this lounge, and everybody has a story, but it is their story to tell. That's getting back to the rumor with Sharika. It's time
But
to send a man home, but Tommy let it be known that it is the only one. He is the only one that can barbecue somebody. Zoe would, yeah, because um Katie spoke up about her saying that she could barbecue him. Like, don't put
right,
all this on Zoe, because if you would have never made that comment,
comment.
it could have been avoided.
Right.
So
That's so true.
Zoe will go home, but he never showed up for dinner. He was the one that was gonna get eliminated,
Oh,
but
I thought
but
that was so cold.
yeah, but he stood her up at the dinner date because he knew he was going home. He
Yeah,
knew,
but he could have called her and told her that he wasn't coming. He just like didn't
and he
care.
wouldn't
She
pick
sit
up the
there for an
phone.
hour.
Yeah, and he picked up the she picked up the phone to call him and reach out to him, and just had her sitting there and sitting there and sitting there. So anyway, he was the one that they voted off, and Justice get another chance. Justice got to step his game up, or he gonna be back in elimination again. So that's
Right.
how I feel about this. So this was our review on Ready to Love. Priscilla, what is your afterthoughts?
Well, this was a good show. I enjoyed it with some pros and cons in it. And so,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, let's hope the next show be a little more peaceably and fun.
Girl, I've been sitting here all this time with my mic up beside my head.
I could hear you though. I
You can
saw
hear
it,
me?
but I could hear you.
Oh my goodness.
I
Anyway,
could
it
hear
is
you.
what it is. And you know, it was a rough
Yeah.
morning for me. So
So this was a good show. This was a good show. It had a little drama in it and a little romance in it. So it was pretty good. But I'm ready to see the next episode to see what's going to happen this time.
So y'all hit that like button for me. It helps me out in the other room. We have reached 106 subscribers, and I am so happy and I am overwhelmed. Thank you to all my new subscribers, and for my other subscribers, thank you for returning. I do appreciate it, and our numbers have gone up, and it really makes me feel good. I want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart, because Prissy, thank you for doing the shows with me. You hanging in there with me. I call you, look, girl, I need you on this show. So you've been my BFF, and you really show up and you show out. I do appreciate it. Y'all, please hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. Sometimes I think they get if they don't see anybody in the chat, I feel like we do get the views, but you don't see anybody in the chat, and nobody comment, because they don't see anybody in the chat. I'd be glad when it gets to the point that they start talking in the chat, because it really makes me feel so much better that they're engaging. But
But
I
they
do
are
appreciate.
perfectly welcome to when they view the show to put comments in just as well if they can't see us during the day and put it in the chat.
Right. So, right. If you can't see it in the daytime and you catching a replay, leave me a comment, and I do read my comments. Yes, I do. And we got one video that reached 1K, 1,000 people viewed it. The one with Martell, there it reached 1,000 views. So I was I was very excited to see that. So y'all, thank y'all so much. Please don't forget to hit that like button. Prissy is my host, and y'all, tonight on Ready Love comes on And if you don't have cable and you don't have on, you got YouTube, and you can view it on YouTube the next day. Or maybe sometime once it goes off, you can view it online and see the whole show. So just giving you a heads up, there are other ways that you can see it if you don't have on your description, on on your TV. You know, it's no need of going out and buying it. You can find it on YouTube too. So with that, y'all, I'm going to end the show, and I do appreciate y'all showing up and showing out. I've been watching people come in and out, coming in and out viewing it. So thank y'all so much, and I catch y'all on the next video. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. Now that I've been put through, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.